what's up, amazing mamas, and what's up, and welcome to the Amazing Mama. This is Marie Benson, your host. Today, we're going to talk briefly about to freeze or not to freeze. All right, so we're talking specifically about freezer meals. All right, and here's my take on the whole meal situation. My mic's a little bit far away from me. Okay, here's my take on it. You should have multiple streams. Some people say multiple streams of passive income. Yes, I would say that's true. But also multiple streams of how you feed yourself and your family. Okay, and I will go over a few of those things today. But you should have multiple options, because the thing is, you're going to get tired. If you're not tired already, you're going to get tired of how you do things, all right? And I mean, maybe you'll never get tired of eating out, although I would, like, if you ever had a renovation, you might get tired of eating. You might realize you actually are tired of that too. So anyways, kitchen renovation to be exact. So anyways, here's some things. Here are some streams of how to feed yourself and your family, okay? And the whole idea is, this is part of the mama load. And we talk about this in the Amazing Mama Academy, how to master the mama load. And that's that is, everything raising your little one, taking care of yourself, taking care of your husband or spouse or partner, your household. So like the cooking, the cleaning. And so today we're talking about cooking, okay? Meal prep and planning. So things to consider when you're doing this. And again, we get more specific at the Academy, but I like to try to keep these podcasts, which I don't always do. So sorry about that, to like 10 minutes, 20 minutes max. But there's so much stuff I want to help you with. I want to share. So anyways, so streams, this is what I mean by that. So sometimes you might cook. Some days you might go out to eat. Some days you might have a freezer meal. Some days you might do like one of those meal service things, what's the name? I don't know what the name is, but specific things like Blue Apron, what's it called? Green Chef. What's the other one? Well, there's a bunch of them, right? And anyways, where you can subscribe to it, and then they send you meals that are actually either already prepared, so them and have ready one serving meals, or meals you can cook for your family. Okay, so that's another option. The other stream of mastering the mama load for being the home chef, okay, is groceries are involved with this part, right, with meal prep. So grocery pickup, grocery delivery, and not just from the stores, grocery delivery, I've used ButcherBox before, right? I'm using that now. What's another thing? There's Alaskan something. I don't know what it is. Misfit Market. So these are subscriptions to deliver those things to you. I can't tell you. All this stuff, all these streams of mastering the mama load, all these streams of mastering meal prep, feeding your family, help alleviate the burden of it and make it easier. So just because I think a lot of us think okay, well, we have to do this and this is what we're doing forever. No, be able to have these all these tools I just talked about and toggle between them. Okay, so I sometimes pause my subscription to Misfit Markets, okay, or I pause, sometimes I do the whatever chef it's called, and then I don't anymore because I don't really like the food. I don't know, sometimes I don't always like it, sometimes I'm tired of it, and then obviously sometimes I just straight up cook. All right. But anyways, these are different streams, different tools you have, and then you toggle between those things. You go from one to the other so that you're not burnt out from doing all the cooking and figuring it all out. All right. Because that stuff helps it so much. So specifically, I want to talk about today, I'm not really digressing. That's really important. This is important. Okay. But I want to talk about 10 things to freeze. I want to talk about this freezer thing in particular. Okay. It's kind of like backup. So think of it as this is all backup, but this is one of those backup streams, okay? I highly recommend you have in your freezer. You pick a day just one day where you're cooking a few things. This I'm going to talk about in a second here. A few of these things, and you just have, so when you don't feel like cooking or you need another idea for dinner, whatever, lunch another day, okay? You have it in your freezer and you just pull it out, Done. Dunzo. Okay. You have that for that day or a day in the week. Okay. So my top things that I like to put in the freezer, like literally, again, pick a day for like, and you have enough for once a week for the month. And it doesn't mean you use it once a week. You just like basically you're cooking 4 of everything or 8 of everything, whatever you decide. How depends how big your freezer is. All right. So here are my top 10. 1, enchiladas. Oh yeah. Okay. With the exception of shrimp, I don't really like, I like frozen shrimp, but I don't like to freeze shrimp. It doesn't go really well. Okay. It doesn't come out. Okay. But enchiladas are such a good one. You like prepare them. I do like, you could prepare them and not cook them, or you could prepare and cook them and then freeze them, but I would freeze them individually then. So, you prepare, like roll it up, all that good stuff, and then freeze the whole tray. You can get stuff from the dollar store, right? And just, it's there. And then put it in the oven when you're ready. Or I like to cook it ahead. I usually cook it ahead of time and then wrap them up in like saran wrap or whatever, okay? Or in your Ziploc bag. And I make portions of them. So like maybe I put 4 in the bag because I know I'll have 2, my husband will have 2, something like that, okay? Soup, homemade soup, believe it or not. Like, yeah, you can do the can, but if you're someone who likes to do a little like cooking and stuff like that, they sell on Amazon, and I should put the link in the comments here, but they sell on Amazon like freezable, they're silicone things, okay, and you can pour like servings of soup in there. Because like when can you ever like make soup from scratch, or like a base from scratch, and you eat the whole thing? Like, it's hard. I like soup, but I don't love it. But I do think it's like a good meal to have every once in a while. Some people are soup lovers, so that's you. Hey, get nuts with this, okay? That's good to have. All right. 3, red sauce pasta. All right. White sauce pasta, anything with dairy, don't do it. You're gonna regret it. You try it, you'll be like, oh, it gets real funky after you freeze it. So don't do it. So any red sauce pasta, and it doesn't even have to be the whole meal. Like maybe you like penne pasta and you like to do different things with it. Some people might disagree with this, by the way. Some people say, no, you don't cook it. It's not going to taste like. I disagree. I like, as long as you use it like within 3 months or even 6 months, you're going to be good. Okay. But I would recommend 3 months. All right. So like I will like make a bunch of, penne pasta and then batch it out in smaller bags. I don't put everything in big bags, by the way, because that's just, it gets wasteful. I put things in smaller bags usually. Okay, so that's the third one. But anyways, I was just saying that I create like the pasta and then I make different meals with that penne pasta. It's not all the same. It's not the same thing recipe every time. 4, taco meat, like cooked, like already cooked, seasoning in it, taco meat. In that I do use big bags, okay? Or I put out like whatever is the portion, like I think is the correct portion for my family. All right, if you got a bunch of kids and you're a hungry person, maybe you put more, but that's just my recommendation, okay? 5, bananas and avocado. I am a shake kind of gal, okay? I have a specific shake that I have every day, sometimes twice a day, because I just know it's good for me, so I have it. But it always requires, like, if you make a shake, I always recommend either like banana or avocado, frozen banana. Has to be frozen banana or frozen avocado, because it makes it super smooth. Okay, obviously you have to mind your liquid to ice ratio, but this stuff makes it extra smooth. It's awesome. All right, and just as a tip, if you've never frozen bananas before to use in shakes or whatever, okay, make sure you peel them, and I would have them and then chuck them in a bag. And I put those in a big bag. Okay, honestly, avocado I buy like frozen avocado. So if you got it, great. If not, you can chunk it up and put it in the freezer. Okay, so 6, shredded chicken. All right, I use shredded chicken for like so many things. It could be like a pulled chicken sandwich. I use them for tacos. I use them, and again, I batch it out, like depending on what you are gonna, like I gauge it on what I actually use for our family, at a time. I try not to waste. It happens though, right? It does. It takes some experimenting. So shredded chicken. So I cook it in a crock pot with whatever. I usually use some kind of stock, salt and pepper. I really keep it easy because I'm using it to cook other things. Okay, just like like taco meat, I could use it to make enchiladas if I really wanted to, or tacos or nachos. All right, so shredded chicken. Yes, okay, and then bread. I'm sure people do that. Like I buy a couple of 2 to 3 loaves. I put 2 in the freezer just so I don't have to go out. Like if I need bread, I always have bread. And 8 burritos. Same thing as like the enchiladas. I usually cook them and then freeze them already cooked. Again, some people disagree with that. 9. I said bananas already. I apologize. So 9 is breast milk. And maybe you know that already, but expecting mamas, this is something I didn't know at first, so I'm just sharing it, and whoever it helps, I'm very grateful of it. If you are going to be a new mama or you are a new mama, make sure, like I shouldn't say make sure, I would never say that, I don't want to force on anybody, but I recommend you also pump, if you're breastfeeding, also pump and freeze it, because, and I am not, I don't want to make you, there's no worrying, okay? Don't worry. But it is, if you're going back to work, or you just need a break, okay? Or, who knows like what your supply will be at some point, I don't know. It's different for everyone, but your like supply is like probably the best right when that baby comes, like newborn stage, right? So just have it as backup. And I don't know this is also, I'm saying this with respect. Like, this is just something to know, to think about. I'm not telling you, I don't know your situation. I respect whatever you choose. It's best for you and your family. But I wanted to say, because sometimes people, I didn't know that. Like, I wish I knew that. And I had gone back to work for a little bit. And then, it got rough. And I wish I knew to have froze more of that breast milk sooner. Okay, as soon as possible, because you have an ample supply. Usually, it's most in the beginning. So, all right. So those are my biggest tips, right? And things, and there's just a few I wouldn't freeze. All right. So definitely, in general, I talked about any like that white sauce, the white sauce pasta. Don't freeze that; it's gross. Okay, but anything creamy or dairy based, you will not like that. It is disgusting. Fried food. Okay, it's not. Fried food's supposed to be crispy. So if you are having it, you got to have it fresh, all right? Even if you try to like freeze fried food and then put it if you had an air fryer, it's still not, it's gross, okay? Blech. And in general, leftovers. I know, like from a restaurant, I would, like, what are you doing? If you're going to a restaurant, like no, eat it right away. Plan it, put leftovers on the menu, all right? And eat it like a couple days later, or, split it. But leftovers, no good. Okay, I hope this was helpful, mamas. You're wonderful. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. And I hope this has helped bring you more joy, more happiness. I hope it makes your life easier is really what I do. So it brings you more energy. And it will. All right, so take your time with this. Find recipes that you like. Experiment with that. If it's not on this list, you can still experiment, see if you can freeze it. But the idea is you're creating many streams of, backup to the whole meal prep situation. And hopefully, again, you want it to be easier. So here, signing off. I hope to see you at the Amazing Mama Academy. This is Marie Benson. See you later.